Yeah.
Oh, 4 weeks fucking horse forgot.
Save it. Is it we live, Lukey? Did you get that? Tell me you got that.
Shit.
Tell me you got that, because this is the Levels Network. I am the Horoscope, a.k.a. Justin Horo. That is Triple OG, Willie Mason. And we are into round 27 preview. Mace has just read topic 2, which is the charges for both Jared Hargreaves and Corey Horsburgh. Well, Mace, we'll get to that.
Yeah, jeez. That shocked me.
You've just seen... yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Let's get smacked. Let's get into it straight away, and then we'll tell you what else is going after that. But yeah, right. Raiders firebrand Corey Horsburgh will be suspended for 4 weeks.
Wow.
And Roosters Jared Hargreaves a whopping 7 weeks after both saw appeals rejected at the NRL Judiciary on Tuesday night. Horsburgh was challenging a 3-game ban over a shoulder charge on Brisbane's Corey Jensen, but will now be sidelined for 4 weeks, which means he will be out for almost the entire season unless they make a late charge to the grand final, so maybe prelim and grand final.
Mate, that is one of the worst decisions I've ever fucking seen.
Horsburgh is bad.
Horsburgh didn't deserve that. Like, that was just a man-on-man. That was a man-hit bang. Jensen on his ass.
He didn't even deserve to be suspended.
Didn't deserve anything. You can't ruin a guy's season like just for this. Just imagine if like Canberra go on a massive big run. Like he's their spiritual leader, the Horsburgh.
He is.
You know what I mean?
He's
so like
there,
that just
him,
sucks.
White, and
you don't deserve that. If he hit him around the head and it was something just out of this world, that was well deserved, right? That is a good hit. That's a rugby league hit. Just because Jensen fell on his ass, sorry.
He pumped him.
Hargreaves was always going to get it because
correct.
It was the media
but
just
even
built that up. 7 weeks is 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Have a look at Luke O'Donnell, right?
Yeah, the Doggies.
Craziest motherfucker nearly to ever play the game.
Yeah.
He nearly killed someone and got 4, 5. You know what I mean? He copped one massive one, I think, because his elbow was horrible.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe 10 weeks max. 7 is like, oh man.
Even though I thought the Hargreaves
4 weeks max.
Even though I thought that tackle was stupid more than anything.
Yeah, it was stupid.
There wasn't great contact to the head. Uppy didn't stay down. He didn't seem. It doesn't warrant 7.
This is, I said the other day,
4 max.
This is for what he's been doing for 15 years. They're like, fuck him.
Yeah,
let's get him. This is like loading for 10 years, right? That's what it feels like.
15.
It feels like loading for 15 years, and they've gone, all right, we've got him now. We can get him.
So what's up with Horsburgh? He was just in on the same night, so they got him. He was collateral damage.
Let's just get the Horsburgh out of here.
Yeah.
The horse whisperer.
Done.
The horse whisperer. I love watching these guys both play, and we knew that Hargreaves was going to get done. And I was thinking 4 max.
Yeah, 4 or 5 max.
7's awful, right?
7's awful.
And Horsburgh, I thought, was just going to get suspended for about a week max with a fine.
Max.
4 weeks. Come on, man. That's why people get turned off the game and hate the judiciary.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep.
Because they do shit like this.
How do you reckon Ricky's feeling?
Fucking Ricky. Spitting somewhere. He's spitting somewhere. Fucking Horsburgh. Oh,
do you reckon he just
I feel it.
Do you reckon he just been being refresh?
Oh, God.
How many phones do you reckon fucking Ricky's broke? Or do you reckon he wouldn't
have one?
He's that old school. He would have a telephone, the old home line.
Ring him on his home line.
Call him.
And it's got the cord
96702. Fucking.
He's still got a landline.
He's got a landline.
Hello? Ricky Stewart.
Yeah, Horsburgh got 4. You fucking
His phone is encased in rubber.
Anyway, that was supposed to be topic 2, but we nailed it straight away.
Nah, that's awful. It's an awful decision.
Mace, you're rocking a Levels hoodie right there.
Yeah, man.
I'm rocking a Levels hat. We want you to register your emails for updates at levelsnetwork.com.au. That way you'll get early access like some have got already. Lukey put pictures in the email list for the hats dropping, so make sure you go and jump in there, sign up, and get ready for Collection 1. We're a couple of weeks away and we're really excited about it.
Been hit up a lot.
Thank you to everyone who's in there already. We've got 1,000 people, so make sure you jump in there or you might miss out. Also, want to quickly just let everyone know that for the Sydney Marathon, I am running on behalf of Pass It On Clothing, who are really close to me.
Nice.
Been with those guys or known Chris and the gang for a while now. They do a great job. Normie got me on to going down to Pass It On Clothing. Been down there a couple of times. He's a great dude. He does great things for the homeless. So Lukey, I'll get you to post the link that I've got in the box there for me, please, brother. Put it in the bio for us. So if you want to help support me, get behind me for the Sydney Marathon, and therefore support Pass It On Clothing, I'll be representing Pass It On Clothing and Team Flow Athletic. As per, we have 16,600 YouTube subscribers right now. We're still chasing 20K. Thank you so much. It's almost a jump of 1,000 in the subscribers over the last week. So thank you for everyone that's new, that's jumped on off the back of the New Zealand.
We've got to get to 20 soon on Instagram, right?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're
19 points. Usually it pumps up after the Monday or Tuesday, right?
Well, we get a good clip and we'll give them a juicy clip. Shout out to Lukey for the clip of doom as well.
Oh, Lukey killed it, bro. Strava 367.
19.9.
Strava.
100 of the best.
The
Strava. See that? Yeah.
I need to join the Strava. So
yeah, we're getting the Strava as well. We've got 367 in at the moment. More info to come. Just setting up the dates, the partners who will be running the sessions as per we told you last week. So really excited about that. That will be at the end of the NRL season. So we've still got a few weeks to go, but get ready for everyone in that club. While you're there, we'll probably have a few of these too, Mace. The ready-to-drink vanilla and chocolate shakes. You got the vanilla in there, Mace. I got the chocolate. I use them for the Sydney Marathons. When are you smashing the shakes, brother?
Probably after weights. I was at E-Lab this morning, so I'll get there straight home, have that, have the collagen. You know, I think we've done a show before after the weights, so I hammer one of those as soon as I get in it. As soon as I'm done. 30 grams of protein straight away.
30 of the best. Currently available in Coles, online at bodyscience.com.au and independent supplement retailers. Mace, let's get into one of our I think it's one of our favourite parts of the show these days. Lukey posted the other day. We get some really good messages now, and I think people really enjoying this part of it. We've got our YouTube questions. Kick it off with JC571. The best game you played in as a team, club or rep, whereas a team the other side didn't stand a chance. What made it such a great team? Was it the training beforehand, the opposition of the rivalry, or the coach for your respective team?
That is a good question. I have to do a lot of thinking. Lucky I read it a little bit before, and I was like, fuck, I've been involved in some really good team efforts. Not an individual effort, but like a really good team effort where you can sit back and go, you didn't have to play like your ridiculous best and we still got it done. I'm going to go back all the way to our run into the grand final. 2004, we played the Warriors round 26, last round, right?
Yeah.
Over there, still a massive rivalry, right? They still got a gun team. They had one of those years where I was a little bit down. They didn't make the 8 that year, I don't think. But we were on one, right? Guys like Sonny and Roy and Rennie and Willie Tonga and Ogre and like big Paliacina was going at it. Like Sonny was hit. It was just on. It was fucking on. And it was just for 80 minutes. I think we put fucking close to 50 on them and they scored hardly ever. But it was just non-stop, just defense, all the little things like just hitting. Everything was a hit. Every tackle was a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every run was a mad offload. Everything just sort of come off, right? There's a couple of games I can go from that and I can go to the 2006 one against St. George. I think they've put it on YouTube, how the Bulldogs used to conduct their business, right? It was at Oki Jubilee. It was one of the most aggressive games I've ever played in as a club. I think it was like 18-16 the final score. Everybody hit so hard, but the running, it was just brutal, right? They're two of the games that stand out.
You're very similar stylistically, right? You and the Warriors back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of Pacific Islanders in the team. Speed, power, offload, skill, flair. And then you had a few like sturdy heads in the middle, the Sherwins, the Stacey Jones of the world, little generals.
Yeah.
They got your big boys around, and then you had like powerful outside backs, big forward packs. Yeah. You were a very similar team.
It was very balanced. So if one was on, it'd be hard to stop. So it was the battles that we did have, both of us were on.
Yeah.
They were off. Obviously, they had nothing to play for. We were on a run.
Yeah.
So we had a heap to play for. So they were way off, and we were just on, like completely. I was just like that. And the 2006 game, a couple of like games that really stand out, like team-wise, where everyone was just humming. No one had plays off. Nobody did like anything wrong, really. Like no, everyone had like an 8 out of 10 game.
Yeah.
It's fucking rare to have that. Even the bench, everything come on. Like you had Sonny Bill and the Roy Asatassis and Rennie's coming off the bench. Yeah. Off the bench. Yeah. JT coming off the bench, coming on and just like sliding in just like a fucking well-oiled machine, man.
Yep. All right, my game. You're a part of my game. So one of my favourite games where the narrative meant more to it than anything. 2015.
Yeah.
We went down to. We were coming last at the time at Manly.
Yeah.
We went down to Melbourne. We played them on Anzac Day. My only ever Anzac Day game.
I remember it.
They were coming first at the time, and pissing down with rain. It was only a low-scoring game.
Yeah, it was awful.
For whatever reason, I don't know what it was. I know the rivalry meant a lot to us from Manly and Melbourne back in those days, but I never felt like we're going to lose that game, even though we were last.
Solid.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we ended up going on a little bit of a run at the back end of the season, but everything seemed to click for us that game, and it was Nelson's
Big Nas.
debut.
Yeah, I remember because we wore those gold jerseys with the
still got it.
maroon. Right?
I've still got it. Yeah, with the diggers and,
it was
and
mad.
stuff
mad
on it.
jersey.
Yeah. It was a really special occasion because obviously now you get the Warriors and Melbourne Storm that play on Anzac Day, but for a long time it was just the Roosters and the Dragons, and so the occasion was big. The fact that we were last, we beat first was big after we'd been a successful team for the last couple of years.
And that rivalry was big.
And the rivalry was as good as it got. And I think young Cam Munster was a part of that team too.
It was, wasn't he?
I think the money man might have been playing fullback.
Big Nas and like they
Big
all
Nasty's debut, I remember.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, oh, shit.
But yeah,
Could be something.
just that game stood out for me just because of the rivalry and the narrative and our backs against the wall that year. And,
that was a good win.
And it led us to going on a bit of a run a little bit later in the season. Hey guys, this one's from Steve-O. I love the show and wish nothing but success, but Skip, the total disrespect to the Roosters is insane. My question to you and the OG is, as players, if you are beaten in a big game, do you carry that hatred of the team or the players? P.S. The Roosters can't hurt you anymore, Skip. So he's referring.
So what's
to
he
the grand
saying?
final.
Like, so when you get done by like another team?
Well, like the grand final, right? So we get done by the Roosters, and he's referring to my comments on Jared.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he said, "Oh, you've got something."
Of course,
you've
you
got a
fucking hate
vendetta
everyone.
against you." Yeah, yeah.
Like you got to carry every single little thing.
Do you have a specific team for you for the Bulldogs years? Because like when I look at that Bulldogs team and the names that you name, you should have won a minimum of two, maybe even three during that era.
Yeah,
so what?
We just got one, man.
What teams? Yeah, but what teams fucked it for you? And did you ever hold anything against a certain team, or did you more beat yourselves in those days?
Like I think Melbourne was always there. Like you used to hold it against Melbourne. So everyone hates Melbourne because Melbourne beat everyone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Even back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, like 2006 they end up getting us down Melbourne.
Yeah.
I thought we were one of the best teams in 2006. It was us, Brisbane, and Melbourne.
Yeah.
And even I think I don't want to disrespect anyone else.
Who won 2006?
I don't know. 2006 the Broncos won.
Yeah.
But like, I think back in when we played, you just didn't like anyone really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you sort of had to take that, like those little edges into games. You're like, I just fucking hate Parramatta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate the Gold Coast because I don't like him as a player because I play him in Origin, right? So you take these little petty things into games, right? Because you just got to get up for every game and make an excuse up, right?
Yes.
You're playing against Brisbane. I fucking hate Brisbane. I hate Queensland. Just put that in your head, right?
Yeah.
Penrith, you know what I mean? Like you're going against these other guys, especially with forwards. You just make that shit up.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard when you're in the middle and you got to be that dude.
I used to hate so many back rowers.
You got to be that dude,
no
right?
reason.
Yeah, you got to, mate. Like guys, like you just had to make shit up because I think back then you didn't really personally know anyone unless you played Origin and unless you played on Kangaroo tours with each other.
Like
so there's
now
a
with
select
social media,
group,
right?
So there's a select group of people that you know in the game. So it's probably like 20 people that you know.
Yeah.
Other than your teammates, right? So the 25 people that you're on a Kangaroo tour with, that's it. Out of 500 or 600 players.
What about for people that don't play in the Kangaroos?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you got to build in this like in your head, like I just fucking hate everyone.
Yeah.
Now social media, everyone's friends, everyone follows it, everyone likes their photos and shit. Like none of it was back then. It was like fuck, I don't like this guy. Played against him since I was 17. I was just going at him.
Yeah.
Front rows, back rows versus back rows, and that's what kept you competitive, right?
You'd maybe see him once a year at Sapphire.
Yeah.
When they have a home game, you'd have a beer with him for a bit, and then you'd hate him again.
You'd be like, yeah, he's not a bad bloke. And you see him. Sometimes you want him to be fucking wankers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, he's a good dude. Yeah. He's like, it's always one of it's a good analogy. Like when people go, what's he like? It's like, yeah, he's one of us.
Yes.
It's like, fuck.
That's
damn it.
If a teammate says that,
and it's just say if Ren's out, Sonny's out, one of the boys, Tongi, I said, what's he like?
Yeah.
He's one of us. I'm like, God damn, I thought I knew it. I knew he was one of us. Do you know what I mean? But you want to keep that sort of edge and just have it on the field because I used to talk so much shit and try and make shit up in my head.
Yeah.
You just come firing at people like just out of nowhere. They'll be a bit shocked. Like, what the fuck is he on?
Yeah.
Anyway. No one really. I just took it personal, and we just did as a forward pack.
Me, Roosters, fuck you.
Obviously Skip took it a bit different.
Well, because Mace won
I
too,
get
so
it,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
I never fucking won a grand final, so I got
Damn.
massive hatred for the Roosters.
You know, like getting...
But I love
and
so many of those boys.
Yeah, like playing against Queensland in those great teams, getting dusted by them.
Yeah.
I still didn't hate them personally. I was just like, fuck. You know, like I still hate Queensland, but I didn't hate them. Like I'd take it like individually if I played against the Broncos, because the Broncos, everyone just hates the Broncos, right? Back then. Now, I don't think people hate the Broncos that much.
No, because they're not as powerful as they were.
They're not as powerful because back then they used to beat the shit out of you. They had
they
like
were the
10
franchise.
Origin players and everybody else. And it's like, I just want to beat the Broncos. You know, some of the fondest memories of like, even when I go back to that question, what games, I had to pick those fucking games out. Like, there's a lot
games.
of team efforts that we've been involved in. So
Yep.
it was one against the Broncos.
This one's from Emily or Emil Graham. Emily Graham, 1184. Kia ora OGs. Question for the podcast. With the addition of RTS in the centres, another year under Webby's system and a majority of Warriors key players signed for 2024, do you think the Warriors can make a push for a potential minor premiership? If not, what are the Warriors missing in order to make the push? Keep up the mean work, up the L1s and go the Warriors. No wars.
Well, who knows what...
Must be an OG. Proper OG.
Go the Warriors.
Go the
yes.
Warriors.
Yeah, I think if they continue where they're going, the trajectory's like that. Bang, the coaching is good. They've got a good system over there. Eshe's playing out of his skin. Fanua Blake. They've got a really good, like, they've got a good bunch of like players. You know what I mean? They can make a run this year.
Are you not worried about a Cowboys type slip up next year? Could that be potentially if they don't?
Maybe because as I said, like everything's going into place this year. Like the Warriors, like the Cowboys did. Everyone had career best years, right?
Yep.
So what's going to happen at the end of this year? It's probably about 10 players going to be on rep duties, right?
Yep, probably.
Probably about that.
Sure.
New Zealand and
Minimum.
all Pacific Island, minimum 10 players.
Yep.
So what position they do when they come back? How much do you train them?
Pre-season.
The pre-season's very important, the continuity, but if they can keep the same players, right, you shouldn't have that much of a problem. But as I said, it's the North Queensland problem. What happened then? You had exact same players come back and were like 2 from 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's when it comes to the coaching and the senior players, how to get it done.
Just got to make sure you don't miss the jump. I will say one thing that I think I can speak on. Well, I'll speak on behalf of myself, but and you can let us know your thoughts. No one cares about minor premierships.
Oh, no one gives a shit. No one cares.
No one goes.
Have a look what Brisbane and fucking Penrith are doing right now. If they really cared about it, 200 grand.
We'll look at the teams a little bit later on, but not one player that I've played with that I know ever goes, how many minor premierships?
Heine has. He won one in 2001.
I wasn't even trying to have a dig at Heine.
But no one, honestly, we do love you, Heine. Honestly, no one gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about a fucking minor premiership. Come on, man. Everyone's just thinking that big picture.
Top 4.
So they'll be all right, the Warriors.
The reason a minor premiership is appealing is because you get a home semi in the top 4. That's it.
Well, you get that. You get that anyway.
You don't care about. You will see. That's my point, right? So you want to finish in the top 4. Best case scenario, obviously first and second, but in doing that, you win the minor premiership. But that's not the goal. The goal is to get a home semi.
If just say it was $1 million if you won the minor premiership, then you get a bit of a push from the club.
And then the boys get paid too.
And the boys got a little bit of jam, right?
Yeah.
They've been a lot more. But you want to pay us a measly $200,000 split between 30 players?
Yeah.
It ain't working.
No, that ain't it.
Therefore, and you want to put another round on us, have a look what's happening this week. Do you think the players give a shit? No one cares. They're resting all their players, and round 27 is a joke.
Yeah.
That's what they've made it.
All right, Mace, we talked about it on. I just want to go over this one quickly and give you my perspective after thinking on it for the last 24 hours. So Cerrado was grilled over Dogs' walkout today. He faced the media with a range of questions on the Bulldogs' culture, high standards, which he has reportedly alienated some players. At the top of the presser, Cerrado said the issue was sensitive and he declined to comment on it, but wasn't afraid to air some harsh truths around the current Bulldogs' culture. Canterbury Bulldogs' top 30 player walked out of training last month after reportedly being forced to wrestle more than 12 teammates as punishment for turning up late. A report from the Sydney Morning Herald also revealed a text message that has been sent around claiming up to 8 players had voiced concerns about their workload and specifically been available to train from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So you're heavily involved in this. You're an ambassador for the team. You got a relationship. You've been at trainings. I'll give you my perspective from why I like doing this show with you in particular is you are an OG, triple OG, rep player, state of origin player, international footy player. I think the reason it works with us as well is because I'm that middle tier player.
Yeah.
I'm that locker room guy. I'm that guy that had to fight for his contract every year. So I resonate with this for a couple of reasons, and I'll give you my reasons, right? So 2012, I was at the Parramatta and we were at the bottom. We got the spoon in 2012. I played 5 games. But one thing I'm proud of that I'll always say that got me to Manly in 2013 is when shit hit the fan and there are excuses and I got dropped and Steve Kearney dropped me and then Ricky comes and tells me 5 weeks to go in the season that I'm not wanted by the club. I didn't kick fucking stones.
Yeah,
so, and I'm super proud of that. I always did this right, and this is why I think this is sort of a message, because it is a sensitive subject for the guys going through it. But I will say right now that publicly everyone will say the right thing, whether it's the media, whether it's clubs, whether it's other coaches. But coaches are looking this and going, that ain't it. And so what you got to think of is when you're a player, and you've talked about it a couple of times about staying at the Bulldogs. If you're not a top 10, maybe top 15 player like myself throughout my whole career, just because it ain't happening at the Dogs, or you think it's hard, or you think you can text a few people, or you can text media, other clubs are finding out about it.
100%.
So you're not just you're not putting a cross through your name at the Bulldogs. There'll be, for these guys, for these reports to come out, whether it's the player who's left training or it's these players that are sending text messages, I'd say by now already, because we know the information, obviously you're so close to it, but I'd say 80 to 90% of the teams who run clubs, who are recruitment, who are coaches, know who those players are.
Yep.
And they're going to find it really hard to find NRL clubs, and they're going to end up in the Super League. So, again, I go back to my situation. I didn't kick stones. I felt like I was a good team player. During that time, that shit was going bad for us at Parramatta. At the end of the season, 2 teams that were speaking to my management about coming next year was Melbourne originally, who were...
They just won the premiership in 2012.
2012, and the other team was Manly, who won it in 2011. So, that probably coincides with the coaching staff, because Steve Kearney and Brad Arthur, specifically Brad...
It speaks a lot about your character.
Exactly,
Because if you had to kick stones and quit and went somewhere and just went, I'm going to give up, you wouldn't have got that start, mate.
But I just want to finish this off too. And it's not about gassing myself up at all, but it's just like a message to any players in this situation, like the Bulldogs, like the Tigers, like the Dragons. Be careful what you say. It goes a long way, and you never know what teams are getting the information about where you could potentially go, because I got on with my job. I was pissed off that I wasn't playing first grade for sure. I felt like I was good enough to be playing in 2012. I felt like the things we could improve on, but I never showed it. None of this shit. Got on with my job, and I was lucky enough to be recruited that year by Manly and Melbourne, and went on to play in a grand final the following year. So that's just a different perspective on what these players are going through right now, the unrest, and we'll see how it all pans out. I know
that's awesome, but what you just said, the advice there is great. You know what I mean? Because
that's my point, mate. At the end of the day, too, you can say and for a lot of people, there are issues that they go through with mental health. I've never had it personally.
Yeah, same.
So I can't speak on it like that.
Same.
But what I will say right now is people say all the right shit, when it comes to being politically correct, but when it actually goes through behind closed doors in clubs, not saying it's happening at the Bulldogs, I'm talking about at other clubs, they won't look at that and go, let's give them a pass, because they won't sign him,
give
mate.
a shit.
They won't sign him.
But the thing is, with the club, just being at...
And that might sound harsh, but...
Mate, it's harsh, man. This is a fucking hard game.
Sometimes you just got to call it how it is, and you're right. You got to be. If I was late or fucked up, I'll give you an example. Here's an example of fucking something that happens regularly at NRL pre-seasons. Brad Arthur and Stephen Kearney come to Parramatta from Melbourne. They told us straight away, "You cunts are soft. You die in the arse at the back end of games. You got no fucking culture. We need to change the culture. So we're going to train hard. So what we're going to do is run Para Park, which was, I think it's 5K. I think it's a 5K run. We're going to do that. Might be a little bit less, but we're going to run Para Park twice. There's one rule, no walking. That's it.
Yep.
Couple of players, I won't name who they were, walked on the first lap. So what did we have to do? No one really took it seriously because we hadn't been penalised like that before. Yeah. So everyone thought whatever, penalties. What are we going to do? We're going to get back and do fucking 10 burpees or whatever. That's what we assumed penalties were.
Yeah.
So we finished doing 2 5K runs. We get back up. We come to the top of the hill at Parramatta 2, and the two players get caught out in front of the entire group, and we go, because of those two fucking players, we're going to do another 20 hundreds right now. Ooh. After it was just run 10K. The first day of preseason training. So
I'm feeling it.
That's 2011, right? Back in those days, it's still like, it's not as professional as it is now.
The 13K flogging.
So people aren't coming back in shape like they are now. Now they're athletes, right?
No. Hey, don't think they're coming back in shape, mate. Don't get it twisted.
I didn't do a single training session apart from a few games of touch in the preseason. I was in Bali for the entire time. So those 2 5K runs were my max. That's all I had. Guess what? Because of these two fucking lemons, we're going to run 20 hundreds, and then we did 10 unders and overs after it.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? That's what happens. Because why? We walked. We weren't supposed to walk. What happens?
Rules.
You were late. You weren't supposed to be late. In rugby league teams, if you fuck up and don't abide by the rules, there's punishments. There's penalties.
Repercussions, man.
What did I do to myself? And this is what I've taken into my life now, right, Mace? We were in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Remember when I did the run? Again, this sounds like
20K run.
This is going to sound like I'm fucking stiffing my own fast. No. But I will say, what footy has done for me is I missed a run with a guy. A punter reached out to me. I was supposed to run with him in the morning. Supposed to run 10 of the best. I missed it. We had a big day of travelling. I was, couldn't be slept in. So mentally in my own head, without anyone else telling me, I've gone, fuck, you got to run.
Yeah.
You got to do double now. So I ended up doing the 21 because in my head, I felt like I had to do that because that's why
it's indoctrinated into you.
Beautiful, mate. All right, on to the games.
Yeah.
Let's preview the games. These odds are from our partners, our friends, the Tab. These are accurate as of the 30th of August at 5 p.m. This is round 27 preview. So first game up, Brisbane versus Melbourne. Brisbane are $1.65 favourites with our friends, our partners at the Tab. Melbourne are $2.25 underdogs. The line is 3.5. Mace, a lot of news on all the teams, so let me get through them. Josh Rogers and Blake Mozza will make their debuts for the Broncos. Tristan Saylor plays his fourth game for the club. Jordan Pereira makes his first appearance of 2023. And Kevy Walters has named 3 hookers in the 17-man side with Corey Pakes an option to spend time in the middle. As for the Storm, Brian Pappenhausen has been named to start at fullback. Juzzy Olam is back. Exciting youngsters Sualavi Falongo and Jack Helworth make their NRL debuts off the bench alongside Alec McDonald and Aaron Penne. Helworth will play in the back row with the Storm set to rest a host of their stars as well. So heap missing in this game, like a few other games, Mace. So thoughts on resting specifically like we talked about for the right now with the Broncos. They're putting winning a grand final and winning week 1 of finals aspirations over potentially winning the minor premiership.
With the teams now, like they are putting that ahead. They want to win the competition. You want to get everybody because injuries,
no one cares about minor premierships, right?
HIAs, all that kind of stuff can happen at training, in the game. They're just not willing to risk it. It's that hard to get in that position, right? And they've worked their butts off all year, Brisbane and Melbourne, to get in the top 4. They're both guaranteed top 4 spots. All right, well, I want to rest all. If I'm a coach, I want to rest all my players. Kevy felt sick, right? He was like, I just don't feel because I'm such a competitor, but he understands like how many players he's had in rep teams, the big runs that they're going to make. You know what I mean? Like he's like, okay, I need Payne Haas to have a bit of a rest.
100%.
You know, like they need a rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a smart thing to do.
This is the smart thing to do. And it sucks if you're a fan, if you bought tickets to this 5 weeks ago thinking Brisbane's going to play Melbourne, this could be for anything.
Yep.
It's not. It's just all about the young kids coming up and, you know, the crowds are going to be down. The viewing is going to be down. But this is the way the coaches look at it. There's nothing really to play for.
Yeah. So shout out to a couple of the rookies that are making
well
their
done
debuts.
to the rookies. This is going to be their,
Sualave Falongo is apparently they've got massive reps on him.
David Falongo's got to be
He's got to be related to him, surely.
The doof.
Blake Mozza, apparently he's a gun 9 that's coming through for him. Shout out to Jersey Flegler, named Skipper.
Jersey.
And Juzzy Olam is back too, which is a big a really good opportunity for Juzzy Olam to get himself back in the team because he's purely in because they're resting Seve. So shout out to Seve for getting rest.
Yeah, 100%. I was just about to say before, like it's like well done to the guys making their debut.
Yes,
mate. I don't know. We don't know if they're ever going to play first grade again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So this could be their career highlight, and you know, away like a what's his name? Fuck the centre.
For what team?
For
Jazzy
Melbourne.
Olam. Yeah.
Olam to get back into the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's opportunities everywhere. So like, I know it's going to suck for like the proper fans. Like it is. Like, and even like we've got to watch this whole round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
I think it'll still be entertaining for the fan bases of these two teams because it's almost like pre-season at the end of the season.
yeah,
You get to see a few of these young kids
have you developed?
Well,
have you developed?
I think, both fan bases are really high on both Farlong and Mozza in particular. So now you get to look at them and see if they can potentially break into the team next year. Pappy at fullback
I love it.
for the Melbourne Storm and Jazzy Olam back. So there are some big ins for sure.
Be hard to have a pun on this week, wouldn't it?
I've stayed away from my grateful eight this week just because it's all over the shop.
It's all over. Like there's
it's
so
all
many.
over. I'll add him in the LBC as we go on throughout the weekend, but I'm not going to wait until I see the final lineups.
Right, okay.
Who do you like in this one, mate?
I don't know. Brisbane, just because it's in Brisbane.
Yeah.
They've got these young kids playing in front of their families, and they've still got to. What is Katoni? How many are they resting? Like
Pretty much all of them, mate.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Katoni's out. Popo's out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But Munster's out. Jerome Hughes.
Brisbane. Yeah, Brisbane.
Yeah.
Because the key players to Melbourne are way more important to the ones in Brisbane.
Yeah, okay. So Billy Walters, Mam, Farnworth, Staggs, Haas,
the whole
and
I'm
Walsh.
just looking at the teams now.
Munster, Welsh, Harry Grant, Hughes, Sever, Sofa Solomona, Nick Meaney, Eisenhuth, Liero even gets a spell. Well done.
Right.
I think there was at one point just after Origin where he played every single minute of this season. So Tui and Xavier Coates.
Well, he's Olakwatu's played every minute of every game.
Has he?
Yeah, he's the Iron Man. Every minute, and he's playing right forward, as I said, arguably the hardest position on the field. He's played every minute, every game.
And a couple of times he was really busted as well.
And he got sent off for 10 one game, but the game went to 90 minutes. So it's still every minute of every game. It's weird. Vossi comes up with these weird stats. I was listening to his game on the weekend. I was like, wow, he's still actually played every minute. So
shout out to Vossi, one of the best.
Well done, Vossi.
One of the best in the game. Broncos?
Yeah, the Bronx. Yeah. That forward pack is still pretty good, man.
I'll go Bronx reluctantly as well. Moving on to Manly versus West Tigers. Manly are at home at 4 Pines. $1.26 favourites. I think that's a bit skinny. West Tigers are $3.90. The line is 13.5, and both teams will have the majority of their lineup that's fit, Mace. No late changes expected. Shout out to Jakey Travojevic, the 18th player to play 200 games for Manly.
200.
Gordon Chan Kum Tong retains his place on the bench after making his debut last week and kicking two of the best against you boys. As for the West Tigers, Alex Twal and Jake Simpkin return for the final game of the season and are expected to play. Josh Folletti, Mateo, makes his NRL debut at centre, and Kit Lau Lili also gets his first shot at the big time off the bench. So a couple of youngsters again getting blooded in. That Tristan Riley's looked all right at moments for the West Tigers.
Yeah.
West Tigers always give Manly a little bit of trouble, man. They always give Manly a little bit of trouble. So I don't see a blowout. I don't see a blowout.
I'll take the line.
You like the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, the line 13.5.
Tigers, this would be a good game. I reckon this will probably be the game of the round. No.
Well,
sorry. That's
the only one coming up next.
That's the only one.
And Sharks Raiders will be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cowboys Penrith will be a good game.
So this will be the last
game. So this will be the fifth best game.
I was just in the moment. I was right in the moment. And I was just looking at these teams. I'm going to take the line, and then it's like, all right. Manly with the line.
You copped a little bit of heat in the punters and dribblers page too for your take on Big Bash 2 2020 saved cricket. And they're like, I don't know about that.
Just come from a bloke who doesn't know anything about cricket. Don't take it personal, guys. Just my thoughts at that time.
Rabbitohs versus Roosters. We just let it through to the keeper.
Yeah, fuck it.
Pun not intended. Rabbitohs versus Roosters. Roosters Souths are $1.85 favourites at a core stadium against the Roosters with our friends, our partners at the tab. The line is +1.5. This is a coin flip, Mace. They can't. They can't pick them. With the Rabbitohs, Tavita Totola starts the game at prop. Dry Arrow's back to the bench for his dog attack on Dimitrio's dog.
He's dropped him to the bench. He's dropped Dry Arrow to the bench because he's dog attacked him. That's 100% because Dry Arrow's their best forward. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's completely lost his dressing room apparently. Completely after the dog attack.
Dog attacks. Michael Cheekham has been recalled to the back row in place of Jacob Host. Jed Cartwright is listed amongst the reserves. All eyes are on Joey Manu. He won't play. No way he does. And that's just not even knowing any information. That's just me knowing rugby league. He's probably going to play now. Fuck. The Roosters will have their final training run tomorrow. Fletcher Baker starts in the front row. Jared's obviously out. Angus is back on the bench of the Crichton variety. And James Tedesco will play after missing his last games with HIA. So, no Joey Manu, no Latrell Mitchell. Who you going, Mace?
Roosters 13 plus. I reckon they're going to put it on. I reckon it's just, reports I'm hearing, it ain't the best at South.
Yep.
I think the Roosters are in form. They're
Okay.
going all right. I don't think the bye would have helped South at all. I don't think it's helped them at all. No Latrell, bro. Like, you need Latrell out there, bro. You need him to even compete with the Roosters. I know no Joey Manu, but you bring Teddy straight back in there.
Yeah.
If Teddy ain't right, my also, your also,
Al Kuso.
he gets to fucking go play fullback.
Yeah.
And then fuck around and get 280 of the best,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
I'm just like, I think the Roosters are prime time and they're ready for it. And what sucks is that it's at fucking Core Stadium.
we were gonna go
What
watch
is
them.
happening? Why? just say when they did the draw, right? And you looked at this and you're South and you're like, all right, can we figure something out at the last round? Because you know something like this could happen, right? Because you
Pilatus
just
is a
go
dog.
off, just he's a dog, a proper dog move. This is the hatred. I reckon South would have gone, we'll give you X, Y, and Z of the gate, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, nah, fuck it, have it at Acor.
I reckon Roosters would give this game to Allianz to play there, like in front of a bigger stadium to anyone. Oh, actually, they'd give it to anyone, yeah, because it's Allianz, right? They know they're going to get all their fans from the Sydney Roosters, but more South fans would probably turn up for it.
Yes, because I'm just thinking, going off last year, the last 2 games they played there, fucking turned the semis on its head. Those brutal games, man. I don't know. It's just going to change everything.
I'm on South.
I'm still going the Roosters.
I'm on South.
Big touch up.
All right, the Dragons play the Warriors at Suncorp Stadium this game, Mace. Our friends, our partners, the Tab, have the Dolphins favourites at $1.58 because the Warriors are resting a host of players as well, Mace. $2.40 underdogs. The line is 4.5. Jesse Bromwich returns from a groin injury. Mudders Wallace reverts back to the bench. Tamati Martin will make his return at 5'8" in the place of Luke Metcalf, while Mitch Barnett returns from a leg laceration, replacing Adam Fanua-Blake, who is out. So for the Warriors, Mace, no Adam Fanua-Blake, no Chance Michael-Clockstack, no Dylan Martinez-Lesniak. Luke Metcalf's done for the season, looks like. Sean Johnson, Tohu Harris has done his back, and Wade Egan's been rested as well.
They need a rest. With Dolphins, I think they're going to finish the year off good, on a high. They deserve it, I reckon. It's been a good year. Get a good win at Suncorp, only simply because the Warriors are resting so many players.
Yeah. And
I wonder how many are proper injured.
Not much
just
at all.
rested? They're just proper
'cause,
rested?
Well, they're in 3rd and 4th, and they can't get any worse. So they can't get a home semi. They can't drop out of the top 4. What's the point?
It'd be stupid if you played anyone, right?
I'd even take out. No, actually, everyone else is sweet. Shout out to Dill Walks. Dill Walks captains the side, I think. What he's had a bit of a checkered past, and didn't go all that well at the Rabbitohs for a little bit. Comes over to Manly. He's proper leader there now at the Warriors, man. He's doing a good job. So Mitchy Barnett will stiffen him up through the middle as well.
Yeah, he's good.
He's your boy, eh? Tari Ferrari, OG.
He's the feet. Thinks he is, isn't he?
OG Tari. Nah, he was.
Adamant he was that Ferrari.
No, he was the opposite. He was playing it down. I was trying to put it on him. Penrith play North Queensland, Mace, at Bluebet Stadium. Panthers, however, have named a full deck of cards. So Penrith are $1.29 favourites off the back of that. North Queensland $3.60 underdogs. Wow. The line's 11.5. So Cowboys obviously need a win, and they need a few results to go their way, like we discussed the other day, and they're in. But the Panthers are not taking it lightly. Dill Edwards, Sanua Taruva.
They want $200,000.
Mitch Kenny, Scott Sorensen are all back on deck after missing round 26. Ivan Cleary may opt to rest more players
But you're saying if you name them like now, they have to sort of play, don't they?
Yes. So you've got an extended squad that can change. So they've got the Eisenhuis, the Garners, the Jenkins, the Isaac Tungles in 19 jerseys. So he'll probably play.
Why would he even do that? He's not playing mind games. He's not doing all Brian Smith shit, is he?
No. Well, I think he's going to play his best team if Brisbane lose, because then they can win the minor premiership. And I think the Parramatta...
okay. I think to see what happens on Thursday.
No, I think the Parramatta loss...
pissed him off.
Yeah.
Or you can just see the Brisbane lose and you just get a minor premiership again. On the Thursday night.
Yes.
Just wait and you just go, okay, we're going to go for it.
We'll play hard.
We're going to get $200,000.
And I will say also, I think I've got 2 theories. I think one, he doesn't want to lose 2 games going into a top 4 match, a final.
Yep.
And my second theory,
Is he scared of North Queensland?
I think not scared because they're not scared of anyone, but
Wary.
yeah, they're a team. They're a team.
I'm on the same
they're a
level. I'm
team-
like, we want to kick him out. Get out.
I think a lot of teams just say if you're in the top 4 and you lose,
You don't want that.
The next week you got to play the Cowboys, the Roosters, or the Rabbitohs potentially.
All dangerous teams that
All
can beat
dangerous
you.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've got North Queensland on,
If you knock
can
them
end
out-
them. If you can end them right now,
And keep
end
the
them.
Raiders in.
Yep.
And keep the Raiders
doing
in.
it. Yep.
You're doing it.
No Big Papa, no horse, bro.
Yep. I agree. St George Illawarra Dragons
Tactics.
versus Newcastle Knights are the next game, Mace. A
Yes.
few players being rested for the Knights. They're in a similar position. They can't go. They can't not play a home final. So the Dragons have listed Jaden Sullivan amongst the reserves. Telltale Amona and Ben Hunt likely to finish the year in the halves. Jack DeBellin returns from suspension. Michael Mollock goes back to the bench. Jackson Hastings is listed amongst the reserves, as well as Lachlan Fitzgibbon. They both missed last week. And KP is obviously the big name that's been rested with Dane Gagai, Phoenix Crossland, well-deserved rest, and Tyson Frizzell, another well-deserved rest.
St George.
Dragons?
Yeah. I like Ponga's their dude, right?
Yeah.
So Lockie Miller comes in, I suppose, as fullback. and
Lockie Miller fullback,
change
Nari
the whole
Tuala.
dynamics
They've still got
of
a
the
good
team.
team,
They've still got a
man.
good team, but it's just how they've been playing is all off Ponga. So it's just going to be, Hastings is probably going to run the ball, get the ball about probably 80, 90 times and just get his forwards going. Get fucking just blokes just charging through the middle, get to a good kick and just play like semi-final sort of brand of football. High completion rate, beat the shit out of them. But I still think St George to end on there.
Yep, all right.
Like just end the season. Like this is the last
I know.
game. People don't understand the last game. You
Yep.
are not giving up. This is one way to actually have a fucking good time, Mad Monday, right? So
Yep.
you're like, let's just put it all in, regardless.
I'm on the Knights. I think their culture
Right.
and what they've been doing is.
I want the Knights to win, but I just think
infectious.
St George will get them.
All right, moving on to the Gold Coast Titans versus. Did we miss a game? No.
Nah, man.
Gold Coast Titans. Did we sure?
It looks like it because we're on Sunday.
Oh,
now.
yeah, we're pumping them. Gold Coast Titans versus the Bulldogs.
Match of
Mace,
the round.
Game of the round. This
You
is
know, this is
you
the
caught it
this
early.
is the one. This is one.
You caught it early. This is the one you
I
forgot
was
about.
talking about.
This is the one you forgot about. The Titans, Mo Fodawaker, personal reasons, will return after missing last week's game. Tom Weaver remains at halfback. What do you think of Tom Weaver?
I don't mind him.
Yeah, I don't mind
That
him
little
as
fella
well.
that come on, number 18.
Yeah.
He had some moves.
He's got an awful hairline.
Pretty. It's back.
He's an OG 40.
It's way
He's a
back.
40-20, eh?
Yeah, 100.
He's got a bit of 40.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
I don't know where they found him, but
So I reckon
he
Central
goes all right.
Queensland.
Like he goes all right. Like he come on. I'm not sure if the other team was fatigued. Melbourne were a little bit fatigued. Come on, a couple of dummies here. Running game was pretty.
think he's good.
Was pretty good. I think he'll be all right for him this week.
Yep.
We just need to get up there, put everything behind us, have a siege mentality.
Yep.
They fly up on the Saturday. They come home on Sunday after the game.
For you guys, Raymond Fatala-Mariner and Ryan Sutton are listed amongst the reserves. Luke Thompson and Liam Knight will start.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they've run.
Tavita Pangai Jr. is out for you, Mace. Isaac
T done his,
Liu is out for the Titans.
T did his hamstring second run
That
against
sucks.
last week in Spanley.
Doesn't get to go out on his own
Nah,
terms.
terrible.
This could
We're
be
holding it for Sunday.
This could be a really big game for a number of reasons, specifically around the Canberra not making the 8, making the 8. If results go a certain way, there could be a lot of pressure on Canberra to hang on. Head-to-head, Cronulla are favourites at the tab with $1.35. Canberra are $3.25 underdogs. The line is 9.5. Mace with a big in for the Sharks. Nico Hines returns. Matt Moylan remains on standby. As for the Raiders, Corey Horsburgh was found guilty, obviously, so he's out, along with Big Papa. Jack Whiten has been named at centres for now, but there could be a late change. Jared Croker on the extended bench. So big outs, obviously, for the Raiders. And Cronulla Sharks, they're just humming at the moment, right? They had to slip up against the Knights, but no Nico, so I'm expecting a bounce back.
This could get Yark at Shark Park. You know what I mean? Like
13
I think 13
plus?
plus, yeah, could be done for the old Raiders.
Yep. I'm with you. All right, as for the LPC multi for this week, I have Alex Johnson to score in the first 60 minutes, and we have the Cowboys plus 10.5. But due to all the ins and outs for this week, The traders have not given us a price yet. It will be a max bet of $50. The line could change, so that will be updated. We'll have an asset for you guys ready to go that we'll post on our Instagram. So make sure you follow our Instagram over the weekend. Make sure you follow the LPC on the Bets Friend banner on the Tab app, because I'll be putting my Anytime Jam throughout the week on that, due to all the ins and outs of all the clubs, depending on how games go. So it's going to be a big weekend NRL. You've got to be really focusing on it. I'm just going to be kicking the feet up, enjoying it. It's Father's Day on the weekend, mate.
Yeah,
enjoy your Father's Day as well. But we want everyone to be playing safe during this footy season. So please keep front of mind, what are you really gambling with? And if you need free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Mace, enjoy Father's Day.
You too.
Enjoy your footy for this diluted round of rugby league. And we'll see you next week with Finals Footy Week 1. Let's fucking go.